Welcome back, everybody. We got another set of videos with our boy Sage over here. We're going to be doing our diamond, or I'm sorry, not our diamond. We're a little early for diamond. We're going to grab our little things right here. So this is what I was talking about. When you grab these things, they really do boost your rank quite a bit. That went up to an entire bar worth. And we got another decal. So there we go. We got a few extra things. So in this beginning part, we are going to be talking a little bit about how you can also change your vehicle. Each individual car does have its own hitbox, and in doing so, also changes the way that you can actually touch your car, or touch the ball with your car. So as you can see, these two different vehicles, the ball's not going to touch the car in the exact same spot as the other one. So this one, the ball will touch up here, let's say, which would be about up here for the other one. And that's clearly not how the car's design is going to allow it to be. Well, this one's more going to be down here, which would be about halfway into the vehicle on this one. They do just kind of have a different type of hitbox in terms of how long they are, how wide they are, how tall they are. You can kind of see the difference just in these two alone. Going back to the one that we were currently using, which is the Octane, got a little lower hitbox, as you can see. It's about right here, so it's a little lower to the way his was. His looks more like the idea of how you would use a paddle, so this is like a paddle laying on its ground. Well, this one is more like kind of hitting it with your hand balled into a fist, while we went to this one, you're kind of hitting it with a brick. A lot of people do call this the brick or the wall, just with a fun little aspect of how it's capable of just stopping a lot of things. And it's very good for 50-50s, because imagine trying to hit a 50-50, which again is when your car hits the ball that's like right around here against another car who's hitting it from the other side. So the size of this front end versus this front end, this one may have a sharper touch on the ball, but this one has more contact to the ball itself, giving it more of a ability to push it in whatever direction this car is choosing to go in. While going down to this one, you can see it's much smaller. It's still a little bigger than this one, but it's it's a little bigger in terms of it will have a little more effect than this one. So let's get ourselves into our now gold rank matches. And I'll see you guys when we get into it. Right. Looks like we got our match up. Looks like we are going against Slump God and Zane. Slump God looks like he still hasn't made his rounds yet, while Zane is more of a gold player. So in this rank, you're going to start making more of a dramatic touch difference.
Uh,
I say that as this happens. That's kind of hilarious.
Once I touched it.
Yep. So didn't even have to touch it really much right there. Clearly shows you still can make these simple touch plays no matter what. You can always make a simple touch plays in these lower anything below, I would say, diamond. You'll still be able to make simple touch plays that kind of push around the opponents. So right now, we're going to play more of how a gold should be trying to play, and that's allowing one person at a time to go for things. So now we got this play happening where they're now rushing backwards. Our teammate's coming up with the ball. We're going to kind of sit more central, a little closer to midfield, so that when this happens, we can do a forward dodge right into the ball and capitalize on a goal. So you see both of the opponent's players are kind of panicking. One's now sideways, making it harder for him to want to be a good defensive positioning for it. And that just gave us the perfect ability to capitalize off it. So now in this rank, you'll notice they're now, instead of driving up the wall for pure movement, after the ball, they're kind of slowing down and only going about right here as the highest point for it. It's because they're starting to realize that their turning abilities, their... Ooh,
Close.
that was a very close shot.
Yeah, don't ever underestimate a really well-timed bump. They're kind of nice every now and then.
So you can see, you can kind of see where the ball was going based off of where our touches were. And at this rank, you'll notice that my car is actually pretty far back. So we'll go into the settings real quick, give you kind of an idea. Camera shake is something you'll want to always turn off, just so that, to give you an idea, here's what camera shake looks like, and most people really do not like it. Every time we like pick up something, or we touch the ball, or you know, just simple things, you'll notice that the ball, or not the ball, the screen shakes with everything that we do. So we're gonna turn that back off just because, again, you don't want that on. You want to have your field of view set at 110. That way you have a majority of the field able to be seen while playing. The rest of the settings, these are just my personal ones. I highly recommend having a higher one because I think it's at 270 when you start out at. Having your distance a little higher than that allows for you to kind of see a little above your car, a little above where the ball would be sitting on you. It just gives you a better chance for touches. The angle, you can see I've got the angle right, or not the angle, the height I have at 100. So the car is just a little below center for us. Looks like our teammates having a little bit of a tough time.
I'm letting them do stuff and feel better.
Right there,
I don't know.
Those are things that you kind of see happen in gold as well, though. Someone will try going up the side wall and they'll just
completely miss.
It'll take too long to jump that second time.
And you've already fallen off the wall.
Yep. And as you can see right here, you can also make good plays off of kickoffs. So I flipped into it, bumped the ball, had it go up in the air, and then I just single jumped right into the ball. I didn't try making a forward jump or any type of other play, I just jumped right into it. You don't have to do too much for stuff like that. Same thing with that, you see that your opponent was kind of moving very quickly towards the ball. Their name tag kind of just disappeared while we were playing, while we were driving up towards it. We'll just kind of, you know, move our car a little more. Looks like our teammate's laying on the back, getting himself a nice little tan.
Hurdle.
So now the ball came towards us, we front flipped right into the area for it, and it made us have a nice strong touch on it. So we're just going to keep on peppering the ball with our touches just so that it stays where we wanted it to go. Oh, our teammate made a nice, good, clean touch. We missed the ball, but we were able to follow back and jump, giving us a nice little goal. So we'll get back into our settings. So our angle, it puts, like, if your camera's up here looking at the ball or at the car at a 0 and then at a 10. So it changes your angle for where you're going with it. Your stiffness, swivel speed, stuff like that. The swivel speed would be more for like doing this. Ooh, they almost made it in on us. Alright, so we threw the ball over there. Looks like we missed it. We're going to give it to them this time just so that we can go back and get boost. In this rank, having a little bit of boost is very important. You're kind of not sure where on the field all the boost pads are, I would imagine. Highly recommend going into either free play or a match with just yourself, just to find out where all these little pads are as well. If you can get to these little pads, you can see I'm kind of rolling around just collecting these pads. So I went around the whole place and collected pads while you originally would have just probably ran out about 3 pads away worth. because of how fast it goes. It looks like they made a fantastic play, but they double committed at the same time, so that's when two teammates go after the ball at the exact same time and try to do something off of it. It can be very useful in certain situations like that where one person held the ball up for the other. It can be a big problem if they decide that they are going to kind of capitalize and push themselves with all of it.
Popped him.
I did a hard touch and failed at it. Looks like it got just enough to our teammate to react to it, though.
Had to catch it a little bit.
So as you see, he popped it a little bit for him, and he was able to push it right on into their net. Looks like this is kind of how the game is going to finish out. They're going to be trying to do a lot of force touches. You can even see their teammate was sitting back just like you're supposed to, having a nice clean distance from it. The problem now is you can see they're kind of both questioning who's going to go, who's going to touch. And now they both just double committed because they took, one of them took too long to go and the other one kind of followed suit with it.
They're getting panicky. They're panicking.
That's exactly what they're doing. They are panicking for every single touch that they can get on the ball right here.
And they end up bumping each other and missing a good clean touch.
And you finally see one of them at the very end as if they were trying to just give up. Looks like Zane over here is trying to just finish out the game. Give him mad respect for someone who is willing to continue playing. Obviously, he wasn't able to finish off with a teammate. His teammate kind of just gave up on him, which is fine. People do that all the time. It sucks because there always is a chance to improve. Plain and simple. There's always a chance to improve for everyone. Yeah.
Give him a nice shot. I like that.
He did have a good shot. I mean, there's no question about it. He had some nice shots out of those. Kind of a simple way for everything to kind of push its way through a rank like this. Clearly, we were successful in this game. And that was mainly because they kept on constantly trying to make a mistake that you definitely want to try to avoid doing. Everybody always wants to say, oh, I can't trust my teammate, but when the goal happens on both people, you can't blame someone else when you both tried to defend it. You want to be more defensive with your playstyle than anything else. Especially in higher ranks, you'll notice that being defensive saves you a lot more. It gets you a lot better in terms of being a good teammate than those who are higher. You can see the rank right there on the left-hand side of the screen. Oop. Looks like we were able to beat their guy. You always want to go with left man goes. Looks like Naruto over there, his teammate kind of didn't really do anything. So we had a free goal from that perspective. Looks like the teammate is now saying sorry because he wasn't there. Oh, looks like we're still not too comfortable on the wall, so we're going to keep on pushing.
Oops, pinch.
One more thing that you are going to start learning you can do is called a power slide. If you are on a controller, you can always change that in your settings. By default on keyboard and mouse, it is your shift key. And as you see, I'm having nice hard slides. You know, it's Tokyo Drift up in here. And so, sorry, Tokyo drifting, best thing ever. Ooh, looks like our teammate's able to get a good touch on the ball from up on the wall. It's a very rare thing you'll ever see in this rank. People always want to try to go for it, but they end up jumping just to...
I'm not even sure what they're doing right now. I just got demoed.
He said what a save. He said what a save.
How dare he want to save me?
One thing you do want to avoid is any type of communication in terms of being toxic, so saying what a save on someone who missed a save, or saying nice shot on someone who missed a shot, like that. Minnie over there is saying what a save. He might be saying it to himself, but don't be toxic, even to yourself. Don't put yourself down with this stuff. Don't put other people down with it, because in the end, that's going to force you into a bad situation where you're going to get known around your rank as the bad player. Especially if you join a good community of people who do want to try to teach you or try to play with you. They're going to be very toxic.
I was backwards a little bit of that.
That's fine. So you can see a little bit of boost just to get there in time. Was able to make a nice quick touch on the ball. But now we're getting a little more speedy with our kickoffs. We're getting a little more comfortable with boosting everything. We've got power slide, which is great because it helps you make a goal by turning on things like that. So I could have turned... Huh?
Minnie's having some network issue. They were red for a minute there. They couldn't move.
Oh, you're having some network issues as well.
No, I'm good. Mine's fine. They were red. They were like 200 range.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry, continue on.
Okay. So, the power slide, instead of having to do a long turn to get to somewhere, you can do a sharp turn to cut down the amount of time, as well as to just get, in a better position quicker than you would otherwise be able to. But be careful with one huge thing. You never want to do it and cut your teammates off. So the ball's going to come about right to where we are, it looks like, just by the rolling. And it looks like we got a good show right here.
Dog pile.
If someone does something like this where you can see clearly their team's kind of giving up, you don't want to just keep scoring, because
rude.
It's not that it's rude, it's that it will take a lot more time away from you being able to get to another match. So because of what's going on here, I will see you guys in the next match. We are back into our third match in... Oh.
Very nice.
It's going to be forcing our way into a few extra jumps, causing them to not be able to keep up with it. It actually gave up on the ball.
I'm so happy, bro. I don't know what to do against that, bro. This guy just aerialed up like the top.
Alright, so now that he's got control over it, we're going to kind of sit back, we're just going to wait for him to make a mistake. Oh, and we made our mistake. Looks like our teammate was able to be there just in time for us to get a nice touch on it. We're actually going to let him do his thing. Because at this rank, a touch is a touch. Whether it goes in or whether someone else destroys something. There's really nothing too hard about this rank to be able to just slowly allow your opponents to make their mistakes and you to capitalize off of it. So here we go. He's going in for a shot. It looks like he was able to get his shot off. There we go. Ninja over here having a nice shot. We'll give him a nice shot for that one because that was actually pretty good. A little touch for him. We weren't able to get back in time. Problem whatsoever. It's now the idea of it's a 0-0 game. 4 minutes in, we're good to go. Our teammate's kind of running with it. We're going to help him by giving a little boost. Put him out of his positioning. We're going to jump forward so that we get a little bit more boost. We're able to get 2 touches. Ooh. because where we landed, they landed on top of us, we were able to just make them kind of fall onto us, right there. He wasn't able to get up to it in time to save it, so it was just a free goal for us. Oh, looks like our teammate got our boost, so we're gonna boost our way over to the 100 on the other side. We're now good to go with boost, and our teammate got pushed into giving us a good shot. Alright, so we're gonna sit back, we're gonna allow our teammate to try to go for the ball. Looks like he was unable to get a good force on the 50. Ooh, looks like Ninja over here. Was Ninja one of the... No, he's just got 284 wins, so that's probably why he's... Oh no, he's got 142 wins. A little interesting. We may be dealing with another person who is... on a different account. But when I see stuff like that, it makes me question it. And even with trying to do panic plays, as long as the ball's kind of going in the right direction, your panic plays can turn into them making their panic plays. So if you notice, we tried throwing ourselves into the ball, completely missed, but because of that, they tried throwing themselves into the ball. And they missed as well. And it kind of worked out in our favor to give a good shot for us. We're able to make misses, but it looks like we were able to... Ooh! He actually made a save. So yeah, he's making plays as if he was more of like a platinum player. But then he does something like that, and it makes you question where he's really at. If this is how a gold really is, then I think our tips are still going to work on them, because you see we're not doing too much, but we're still able to outmaneuver them, outplay them. We're even going to do a little fake on this, so that the ball goes up the wall. He's not going to be able to have a good touch. We're able to just make a soft touch right there with boost and a jump. Great direction into the ball. You'll notice when we land, we just turn a little bit, boost into it, jump, and a simple shot. Sure, I'm not doing too much. Looks like they have both of their teammates going after a kickoff together. Ooh, he got us. We're gonna bounce the ball around him. We were able to bump him, so now he's kind of in an awkward position. We were in an awkward position, so we had to push the ball a little bit. Again, the stuff that we're doing, we're not trying to make it to where we're bringing, you know, say champ level gameplay into... I'd say that in this happens. We're not trying to bring champ level gameplay down into gold per se, but with the stuff that we're doing, it may be a little higher than gold just because it's a natural reaction for some of the stuff. But these are also things that you will see a gold player making. I accidentally made too many shots. Wait, Ninja, isn't Ninja... Oh, they were both Ninja. Again, same situation as what happened with the last game. We're going to kind of just allow him to... Because it seems like he actually just turned off the game or something. And just hasn't registered that he left. So we're going to drive around. And just kind of let this happen. So I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, looks like that was it for that game. Let's see how high we were able to get in this one. Alright, looks like we're up to Gold 3, Division 1. This might be this next game might be the last one, so I will see you guys in that game. Alright. Looks like this is our... It should be our game of going into Platinum. Depending on how these guys are. We'll kind of see the difference that they make with their playstyles. So one huge thing that I'm probably gonna get in comments for these videos is that, oh, you're playing with a teammate. That's completely different. I'm randomly playing. If that's the case, we're gonna allow him do everything that he can, and we're gonna be where you should try to put yourself. If you were just random queuing. Right now I have him completely muted. I can't hear anything he says. And we're just going to back off everything. He's going to wonder why we're doing it. Well, he might be playing different based off of that. What you're going to want to do... Well, it looks like teammate just left. But they're doing the same thing we are, I believe. So, the big thing that we are doing right now is being a little more defensive and pushing up when we see our teammate going back. If we see our teammate going back, he's going to be doing one of two things. He's going to collect 100 boosts and try to rush back on us. Or, as you see our teammate, he was kind of just running around in the back corner doing nothing really. Alright. So now that the ball's getting flung away from us, we're going to go away from the play. Weird being this low that you kind of always want to be at the ball. Always want to be the playmaker. But look at that. Not being the playmaker just made us the playmaker. So, right there, we made 3 out of 4 goals. Ooh, their teammate finally came back. And it's okay if you and your teammate make little bumps like that, because in the end, oop, I missed the ball, and it still was able to be a good enough touch that it could go in. So you can see that the woo person on their team kind of was having a bad situation, just kind of left. I believe this was our final game in gold. Oh no, we do have one more game for gold. Alright, so I will see you guys in that next one too.
You can't stream from his phone.
So you can see games aren't too much different between all the different stuff that we do. Oop, looks like we're gonna have to get back for this. We'll give him a nice shot because he stayed with it. Let's make sure this isn't some guy being toxic. Might be a guy being toxic. And that's just in. Oh, he made it. So, we got our teammates where we want to be. Ooh, we were able to miss it. We were able to get a bounce with it. And what we were just doing is what's known as shadow defense. It's where you kind of be a little more defensive on your play, but you're kind of mimicking where your opponent's going to be. So it's a more predictive mindset. We'll just keep jumping the surf boost. So even though we like having boost be used all the time, serving it is a very useful thing to do, especially when you start getting up here in the ranks. Because you can do stuff like that. So again, they're being toxic. We're not going to be toxic. They said close one, so we'll give them a close one as well. That's the closest thing you should ever be to toxic, saying, hey, you were close with that shot. Never just want to save your opponents, because there will be a time where you would have someone like us who definitely are not in the rank. A lot of people do like to create what are called Smurf accounts, which is what this is. And they do it so that they can just be absolutely toxic to everybody. We're doing this for educational purposes. We're not doing it for, you know, gloating rights or anything like that. We're strictly only playing to help teach people how to get improved mechanics, improved mindsets when it comes to playing in these specific ranks. So he pushed it right to us. We were able to jump into it. Ooh. We'll give him what to say for that one. Give him a bump for that. Let him take the middle boost, because we have plenty of boost ourselves. Ooh. Here, we see that he's already rushed past us while trying to hit the ball, and it just had him float right into their net. The other person came up trying to defend us, so we did have a split second to kind of decide, am I going to force the play, or am I going to get a 50-50 and hope it goes my way? So what I ended up doing was just jumping after the ball, and it forced a play in our favor. So things that you will learn at the ranks is your distance is not going to be exactly what you think it is for half the time, just because it's something you kind of learn the longer you play. But in that rank right there, the gold that we were just in, you're more likely to see people who are just going to keep trying to rush after the ball. And as long as you keep a cool head, you don't rush, you don't force anything, you don't have to, you're more likely going to watch them shoot the ball. And you're going to think, oh gosh, they're making a shot at me. But in reality, what they do is they miss it, and they either fly into your net or they fly past where the play is supposed to be, and it causes them to be completely out of any type of play you would have that would allow you to kind of just capitalize off of it and even just drive the ball into their net sometimes. Sneak little preview tip is that in Platinum, it gets a lot more evident that they're going to keep trying to shoot the ball, and they're just going to keep hitting the wall and missing it, and they're going to keep putting themselves out of the play. So again, reiterating it more, your game sense is really what this is all kind of working out towards. The more you realize and think about the play before it happens, you don't have to think, okay, he's going to touch the ball way over here in the back corner, and then it's going to go over here, and then it's going to go over there, and so on and so forth. You don't have to do something like that. If you know he's going to touch the ball in this corner, find out which direction you believe the ball's going to go. Put yourself in front of that position. It's a game sense, it's a game mechanic that, or not a mechanic, it's a game sense where you are predicting where the position of the ball is going to lead, which will lead you to going to the right position before the ball even has a chance to get to it, and you just wait for the ball to come to you. You saw half the most of the time we weren't even playing in a sense of like, oh, I need to rush towards everything. So before I leave you guys in the comments, what I highly recommend is when you're on this screen, go to your training, do free play. Some of the things that you really should want to learn is where are all of these little pads right here. You want to find all these little pads, kind of get an idea of how far away all these little pads are. You can get these big pads as well. And then, as I said with the previous episode, one of the best things you can do is find your way to where each of the pads are and try to keep yourself boosted. Try to keep yourself with the trail still showing. So you can hold down boost like this the whole time and it'll keep it. But what you want to do is you want to keep yourself just fast enough to where it's still showing. But as you can see, I'm not boosting all that much. You see a little bit of trail behind me every time I do it. And you only have to do it kind of at the corners more than anything, or if you are waving, you'll notice. So if I go like this, you'll notice a little bit of waving will cause you to slow down as well. So you'll want to keep your boost just a little bit to allow for you to not only keep track of, okay, I'm going this fast, everything starts slowing down in your head so that you can understand everything a little more proper. On top of that, you're able to kind of keep more control over it, so you can start going like, okay, I want to be only on this part of the thing. So you can start jumping when you need to. So you'll stay on like the corner of the wall, let it go, jump, and then keep going. Stuff like that. It helps you learn a little more control over your car, and then you can do dead stops. So instead of going onto the grass, you'll find like how far back from here do I need to hold my reverse to stop my car from coming onto the grass. So giving yourself those little challenges will help you learn, okay, if I'm this close to the boost, I can stop right on it right here. Or if I want to stop before it, I can stop before it. If I want to stop right past it, stop right past it. You can always pay more attention to your jumps. Just a bunch of simple mechanics that you'll learn throughout your time on it. Highly recommend. It sounds silly, but do your tutorials. Go through each individual one of these ones, because right now you're still learning everything. Your aerials are going to be kind of more what you're going to work on when you get into platinum range. In gold, you're never going to be using aerials because of the fact that it's just way too much of an extra addition to what you have to figure out. So I highly recommend doing the goalie and the striker. In your platinum, I highly recommend doing your aerial one. You can do all three, rookie, pro, and all-star. And then coming into here, because saving the same, I think it's like 10 or 15 goals altogether is not that great. Come in here and do saves. It's by Paquito. Your download code is right here, so you can go ahead and pause the video right here to be able to input this code if you don't see it. I've seen it so much in the browser section that I don't think it's ever going to go away. So just go ahead and find stuff like that. You don't need to worry about air dribbles, double tap playground, air and wall dribbles, aerial shots for passing plays. You don't really have to look at those too much. Those would be kind of more where you're going to look into when diamond and even champ areas. So your best friend, and even in champ and diamond and gold and like any rank, I highly recommend just playing this one. Put it on shuffle, and then depending on your rank at the beginning when you do it. So here, we'll just go into it. At the beginning, when you come into here, your first objective is to save the ball. So we save the ball right there. Your second objective will be save it to a corner, or save it straight back out, or save it by going in reverse. So you can you can learn different ways to save it. And those will all be depending on your rank and just how much effort you want to put into training. So doing stuff like this will cause you to be a little more defensive with your playstyles, as well as become more offensive. So for example, if we go into here, the benefit of doing this shot over and over again is that you're gonna find that you can't just save it. I mean, you can just save it by driving, but you're not really getting a good save by popping it straight up there all that often. Because at that point, their offense can now be recovered before you get the ball back down from up in the air. So you'll want to either pop it here so you can follow it up, grab the boost, and then go through with your play. So then that could turn into, we go back. Now we see our teammates all the way out there. We can do a high pop if we can, which that one was actually a bad one. So we can do a high forward pop, and then the teammate can go up and do aerial play. So it all depends on where in your playing area you are. If you're in your a lower rank, then yeah, just go for making the simple touch to get the ball from not going in the net. When you get higher, it's obviously more like, okay, why should I be hitting this way over that way? And then the third one, the third reasoning is you just kind of learn how to do things a lot quicker, so that you're no longer having to either sit in the net or anything like that, and you do good defensive and offensive plays because of it. So I know this was a bit of a longer video than the last one, but I will see you guys in the next video.